The U.S. Constitution and Presidential Elections, presented by the Citizen Genius Project. This video is going to describe current provisions in the U.S. Constitution that relate to presidential elections, specifically ones that were either originally written into the Constitution by the Founding Fathers or added later as amendments. As I describe each provision, the corresponding text of the Constitution will appear on the right side of the screen. According to Article 2, there are 3 qualifications to become president. A president must be a natural-born U.S. citizen, and the 14th Amendment says that someone born in the U.S. is a citizen. A president must also be at least 35 years old and have lived in the U.S. for 14 or more years. Article 2 also establishes the Electoral College, which is an indirect system of electing the president in which citizens vote for electors, then the electors vote for the president. The presidential candidate with a majority of electoral votes wins the election. The 12th Amendment made a change to the Electoral College system so that the electors vote separately for president and vice president. For a detailed explanation as to why this has been an important change, check out another video. After a person is elected president, the 20th Amendment sets the inauguration date as January 20th. Presidents had been inaugurated in early March prior to this amendment. The 20th Amendment also establishes what happens if the person elected president is unable to become president. Most notably that if he or she dies before being inaugurated, the person elected vice president will become president. Pause the video for a more complete guide to the various scenarios covered by the 20th Amendment. The 25th Amendment outlines presidential succession after a president is inaugurated. In short, it says that rather than holding a new election, the vice president will take over for a president who dies, resigns, is removed, or is otherwise unable to fulfill the presidential duties. The president serves a 4-year term according to Article 2. And the 22nd Amendment sets a 2-term limit. When a person takes over for a president in the first 2 years of a president's term, that term counts as one of the 2 terms. But when a person takes over and serves less than 2 years of a president's term, he or she can still be elected to 2 full terms. Several amendments to the Constitution were adopted to give more citizens the right to vote, and most of these apply to elections beyond just presidential elections. The 15th Amendment gives people the right to vote regardless of race. The 19th Amendment was passed specifically to give women the right to vote, but more broadly it prevents voting discrimination based on sex. The 23rd Amendment gives residents of Washington, D.C. the right to vote in presidential elections by giving D.C. the same number of electoral votes as if it were a state, but not more than the least populous state. The 24th Amendment prohibits charging citizens a tax to vote in federal elections, so that all citizens can vote regardless of income or wealth. And the 26th Amendment lowered the voting age from 21 to 18 years old. This has been a short overview of the U.S. Constitution and presidential elections, presented by the Citizen Genius Project.